Hello everyone, welcome again to our webinar. My name is Julia. I am our NetElixir University Coordinator here at NetElixir, and we are so excited to have you at our 7 Proven Search Marketing Tips for 2017 webinar today. Now before I begin, I just want to go over a few housekeeping items. If at any time you hear any issues with the sound, please punch into the question bar that you can't hear me or there's issues or there's any sort of technical difficulties, and we'll work to address that right away. In addition, we want to hear your questions. There's going to be a question portion at the end of the webinar where we will answer all the questions, and the question bar is the third from your control panel, your GoToWebinar control panel. Now, before we begin, here's a little bit about NetElixir. We're a team of 110 plus phonetically analytical search marketers. We are also a preferred partner of Google and Bing, and our value is ultimately to combine our expertise and our proprietary technology to help businesses get found, convert visitors to customers, and acquire game-changing consumer insights. And to the right, you can see some of the clients that we've worked with. Here's a little bit about what NetElixir can do for you. We offer services. This is paid search, shopping management, SEO, paid, and also paid social. We also have products in the form of our Elixir technology. This includes free apps in our Elixir marketplace and also paid tools such as Elixir SEO and our Elixir guide. We also offer consulting services. This would be analytics and on-demand tech support. Also, today is a very special day for us here at NetElixir. Today, NetElixir turns 13. On this day, 13 years ago, we started. So we just want to thank everyone for this great journey, especially our team members, our customers, and our great partners who have helped us get here. Here's a little bit about our speaker today, Udayan Bose. He's the founder and CEO of NetElixir. Prior to NetElixir, he founded PartyBingo.com. He's also a guest lecturer at Cornell University, the City University of New York, and the Indian School of Business. And with that, we'll start the webinar. So here's pretty much what you can expect today. The way that the webinar is going to work, we are going to share a tip, and then we'll offer you actionable plans how you can execute this tip. And then thirdly, we'll show you a case study where we have actually implemented this tip and it's been successful. And with that, I'll turn it over to our CEO, Udayan.
Thank you, Julia. Thanks a lot. First of all, a big thank you to everyone for joining us on our birthday, 13th birthday. And as Julia mentioned, I just really wanted to re-emphasize, we really wouldn't really have got here had it not been for the tremendous and continual support and a tremendous amount of passion which has been shown by our team members, each and every team member, all of our customers who have really given us an opportunity to really be a part of their growth story, and our partners, especially partners at UPS, partners at Google, partners at Bing, who have really continually sort of supported us, helped us, encouraged us. Thank you very much, everyone. It's a very special day for us, and again, thank you for joining this event. As Julia mentioned, this is going to be 7 specific tips or hacks, let us say. And some of these tips are a little intense, and they probably require a slightly deeper knowledge and understanding of the search marketing space. So I'll try to make it keep it very simple, so that because we have a fairly wide spectrum of attendees today, and there is so I really wanted to ensure that these points resonate with everyone. So the first part of the tips is the mobile commerce tips. So specifically, we'll be focusing on the mobile search marketing tips as such. And our first tip is create a dedicated mobile campaign for near me searches. Now, some of you probably know that near me searches have been exploding. I mean, there has been a triple-digit % growth for near me searches. Almost entirely driven by mobile devices, right? So that's really presents a huge opportunity for businesses to almost like go local. So that almost like a go local is driven by mobile searches, and that's what our first tip is: create specific separate mobile campaigns only to target those search queries. So actionable steps very clearly, first of all, isolate the near me searches. And the second part is target the mobile devices with a positive bid modifier for a particular day part. Again, just to make it a little more easy for and little more non-technical. So target mobile devices with a positive bid modifier. So that's almost like an impact on the bid amount you really place on a particular word. And specific day part, you can actually change that bid modifier based on the time of the day as well. We have had some tremendous success, and one of the case studies that we really sort of like to talk about is this large online gifting company, where we were able to continually sort of get a tremendous amount of success, basically implementing this strategy. So we isolated or segregated the separate near me searches for that business, and we built very specific and unique mobile campaigns for them. The result was, as you can see, quite tremendous. We were able to get a 300% or 3x increase in the mobile traffic. The number of orders, the mobile orders went up by more than 100%. And if you really look at even the mobile conversion rate went up quite dramatically by about 14%. So it was by all means a tremendous success. Something which I would very highly recommend, because we are seeing a constant growth in the percentage of traffic which is really coming from mobile devices. Moving on to tip number 2 is again pertains to mobile search marketing. So personalize the mobile ad content that really shows the customer's real-time location. So what it means is, can you really sort of club in, let us say someone searching in Kansas City, they are able to see an ad which specifically mentions about or targets or emphasizes that they are in Kansas City. It's almost like a hyper customization based on as to where you are. So the actionable steps, what you can probably do is there are about 16,000 city names in US. You can pretty much go ahead and upload or add the business data basically with these 16,000 city names. And then you can use the ad customizer format. I know I'm sort of getting a little technical here as well. You can use the ad customizer format and feed the location details into the ad text. So as I mentioned, someone in Kansas City sees an ad which talks about Kansas City. Someone in maybe Dallas sees an ad which talks about Dallas, and so on. Again, we have had some great success across a wide range of clients. So that's I think one of the other areas that we really have helped us quite a bit. Now both of these, as you can see, probably can be classified more as smart hacks, which can really help you get a boost in your overall paid search marketing results. And both of them again pertain to mobile. Mobile is the #1 priority for NetElixir, and we have a pretty well extended plan as to how exactly can we really implement and do search marketing in a very different and a unique way, a very powerful way, specifically for mobile search marketing campaigns. The third one again is the last of the mobile tips. It's creating a mobile specific PLA campaign. Now PLA, again, as you know, stands for product listing ads. So again, what we are saying is use the PLA campaign which has been successful already and replicate the same current shopping campaign structure and target it for mobile devices. Right? So again, using the same thing, but set up a separate PLA campaign for mobile only. Some of the benchmarks that you can use, you can probably sort of reach out to your Google team, or if you are sort of working with us, we'll be sort of happy to really get this information for you. Get the benchmark CTR, which is the click-through rate, and the CPC, which is the cost per click benchmark for your industry, which can really serve as good, almost like a guiding rail as you really build out those unique campaigns. And then optimize the campaign for mobile specific search terms. So again, we have had some tremendous results. This is for a company which is again in the consumer product, the fast moving consumer products segment. And as you can see, before mobile specific campaign, the impression share was about 34%. Just having a mobile specific PLA campaign got the impression share to as high as about 51%. The CPCs went up slightly, but the revenues went up quite dramatically. It was a 54% increase in the overall revenues. And what I was meaning by mobile specific campaign, this is typically a mobile specific PLA campaign that you can see on the right side, this graphic that we have. So again, the tip here is create mobile specific product listing ad campaigns and almost like treat it as a unique separate property and manage accordingly. Again, you can always sort of reference and have those benchmarks as guide rails that you can really request either Google or Bing to provide you those industry benchmarks, which can really be a starting point for you to really optimize the mobile product listing ad campaigns. Moving on, so I think that was the mobile part. We have just one tip on the PPC part, or the paid search part, and this is again a smart hack, probably using AdWords script to really create automated location bidding. If I were to explain this part, you have to really set specific ROI goals for different campaign segments. And you can probably have different goals. Maybe a goal can be, how can I really maximize the revenue per click or the value per click for a particular geography, right? That can be a goal. How can I minimize the cost per order for a particular state, and so on, right? And then you can actually sort of build customized AdWords scripts, which literally goes sort of upload in your Google Drive and connect it with your AdWords campaign, and they automatically go ahead and redistribute the bids based on the actual performance across the various states. It's really a cool thing. And I know some of you may have built your own scripts, but we have built scripts which can be helpful. Now, script, when I say, it's basically a lot of technical mumbo jumbo, so it's basically a code. So if you are interested in sort of getting this piece of code, which you can really sort of deploy, feel free to write to Julia, basically at university@netelixir.com. So the entire purpose, again, to re-emphasize, the script is to go ahead and get you to do smarter bid optimization, right? For example, let us say, hypothetically, you have two separate campaigns, or maybe, two separate states, and let us say North Carolina is significantly performing better compared to, let us say, Texas, right? So this script has the capability of changing and shifting the budgets based on the actual performance, based on the KPI or the performance metric that you may have set for the campaign. It's really a cool thing. It is a very, very powerful thing. And you don't really have to do anything other than connecting this AdWords script, which essentially does this for you. So again, if you really want this script, we are sort of happy to share it with you. Just feel free to write to us, university@netelixir.com. Let me move on to the next one, and now we get into the SEO. So while the paid search were more of hacks, SEO, we have tried to emphasize the best practices. I mean, as many of you, probably most of you know, that SEO has evolved quite dramatically over the last year and a half. I mean, Google has brought in the rank brain algorithms, and with that, there is a very significant emphasis on machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc., which apparently, it seems, I'll probably sort of just quote this is basically a personal opinion, that maybe about 20 to 25% of your SEO rankings currently are getting influenced by maybe rank brain. So, but despite that, we have seen that consistently there are two practices which have really helped businesses. And the first one, and both of them are very simple best practices, almost like a SEO 101. The first one is, it's a great practice to know who's linking back to your website, right? So conduct a comprehensive backlink analysis. Find out as to what are the sites which are linking back to your websites. Find out if they are all relevant links, or if some of them are spammy links. Right? It's very important, because Google penalizes you for some of these spammy links, while you obviously can get a big boost in your SEO rankings if you really have very high quality links. So actionable step for retailers: conduct a comprehensive backlink analysis. We would recommend that you conduct it on a weekly basis to ensure that you are getting a very healthy link profile, or a backlink profile. And even if you are not really creating links, backlink can accumulate. So it's very important to constantly keep a tab or a check on these backlinks. Who's linking back to your website? Just a good practice to have. We have at NetElixir come up with a couple of free tools. In fact, if you go to our sister site, lxrmarketplace.com, we have a tool called the Inbound Link Checker. It's a free tool, and you can very easily use this tool, find out as to who all is linking back to your website. And if you have a spammy link, you can definitely sort of take action on that. The second is, some of you, I mean, if you both on the Android as well as the iOS stores, the app stores, we have something called a site link checker tool. It's an SEO backlink checker tool. It's in fact the #1 SEO tool on the Android store, Google Android store. Feel free to download it. It's a free tool, but it'll sort of give you as to, just through a couple of taps, who all are linking back to your website. an incredibly powerful tool. I would very highly recommend, if you haven't really downloaded it so far, to download it, so that you can really, just as a best practice, every week just tap on this app, and you're able to get the entire backlink profile, so that at least you know as to who's linking back to your website. The other tip of SEO, as I mentioned, again, these are like some best practices which have really stood the test of time. I mean, it's basically is refreshing content regularly on the website. So regular refreshing of content is important because I mean, we have very clearly seen over the last many years content becoming more and more and more important, right? So again, it's not really a hack, it's just a best practice to really implement, specifically in 2017 when, as I have mentioned, a significant chunk of the load and the SEO influence is being exerted by, let us say, something like RankBrain or machine learning. I mean, this can be just one of the best practices which we feel will continue to be equally important in not only in 2017 but many more years to come. So content again remains the king. So essentially, I think it's a good practice to test the content constantly. We would also think that it will be a good idea for you to set up almost like a content marketing calendar or a content calendar, and just sort of, when I say post 200 words a week, it is not really post for the sake of posting, but post something which is really genuinely you, which is something which is authentic posts, and which really is of value for your readers or customers or visitors. And definitely sort of make sure that you connect all these social media properties or blogs and so on back to your homepage, and add the UTM codes, and you are able to track how the performance are for any content refresh directly through something like Google Analytics. So case study, I mean, this is a practice we sort of do for all of our clients. So I mean, the example which immediately comes to my mind is this client in the home improvement industry, and we were able to increase the number of sessions by 43% and new sessions specifically by 3%. The bounce rate went down because you are looking at more engaged and more relevant traffic. And overall, the interaction with the website, the number of page depth, basically the number of sort of how many pages deep in the website was the customer getting, that also sort of saw a lift by 0.5 percentage points. So again, great content, there is no substitute for great content. That's essentially the key. We are sort of nearing the end of the tips part, and one of the things which I really wanted to share is paid social and some of the fun stuff we have been doing at NetElixir, working with the clients on their Facebook advertising and so on. So again, one of the very powerful ideas was cross-selling customers through the Facebook ads, right? So essentially, again, very specific steps is segment your customer emails according to products they buy. So you're actually sort of tracking the product purchases that your customer makes, what categories are they from, and so on. Add these emails into your Facebook audience, and then target these customers with similar products. So we are almost like using the proclivity for buying similar products by a certain set of customers, and really sort of focusing on that. So essentially, if I am buying, let us say, shoes, I am likely to buy socks, let us say, right? So that sort of an associative property is what you can really sort of do by this cross-selling approach through Facebook, which we have seen some incredible results from that. For example, we ran a campaign using a very segmented list for a client, and the overall numbers were very solid. We were able to sort of really beat their ROI benchmarks by as much as 67%. It was a tremendous success. This is basically, again, in the home furnishings industry, a very premium product customer, but we were able to understand as to what are those similar products and use that audience list to really actively engage in cross-selling of products as such. So again, a very simple thing to do, but again, probably can be classified more as a hack here as well. So I know we have gone through the 7 points. Now our analytics head sort of came in and said that how can you really sort of miss out on web analytics? We are doing some incredible work for our many of our customers on their Google Analytics, the different aspects of it, the audits, the analysis, and so on. Just basically getting the insights from Google Analytics data. And he said that you have to include an analytics tip as well. I just challenged him that, Don, it has to be a hack. So it has to be really something very smart as a bonus tip so that our audience really benefits from this. So he came up with this. You can leverage the no results data or no results found data to identify the revenue opportunities. Very, very, very smart hack. So essentially, you can mine the site search terms that return no results to identify the revenue producing opportunities. Using the Google Tag Manager, it may be possible for you to track the no results queries separately as well, right? So what is the advantage? You can really sort of check to see if you have access to the data. I mean, if you are using a backend platform, they probably like Oracle and so on, give you already this information. But if you don't have this, you can use a tag management system like Google Tag Manager and ask whoever really sort of manages your Google Tag Manager account to see if they can help. Otherwise, again, this is a shameless plug from Don. If you really want us to help, Don is more than happy to really help you. Just email him at analytics@netelixir.com. If you don't have the data and don't use tag management, we very seriously think that you should really consider using this. And a very simple reason is, in many cases we have seen that customers or potential customers are coming on a retailer website and they are searching for certain products which the retailer does not carry. Now, this may actually provide an opportunity for the retailer to convince the manufacturer that you should be sort of supplying me these products as well, or the SKUs, because the customer, there is very clearly a demand for these products. So that I think itself is quite substantial, because if someone is searching on your website, there's a very clear correlation. It can help you in a very controlled manner expand your product assortment as well. So we are talking about an impact which is much bigger than just search, etc. It sort of concerns your overall e-commerce business and the overall product assortment that you really carry on your website. So I'll just sort of pass on to Julia and request her to do the summary of all these points. As Julia mentioned, at the end of it, we will be sort of more than happy to take questions. So feel free to sort of use the question bar to type in your question, and we'll sort of address each one of them. Thank you very much. Julia? Yeah.
Thanks, Udain. That was great. So quickly, we'll go over the summary. So from mobile, our first tip was to create a dedicated mobile campaign for near me searches. We then suggested that you personalize mobile ad content that shows customers real-time location. Lastly, for mobile, we suggested that you create a mobile-specific PLA campaign. Then moving on to paid search, we suggested use AdWords scripts to create automated location bidding. Again, if you're interested in that script, please email us at university@netelixir.com. For SEO, we gave the general best practice to constantly conduct a comprehensive backlink analysis and also regularly refresh content on website. As we know, content is king. Lastly, our paid social, cross-sell customers through Facebook ad. And then our bonus tip from Don, leverage no results found data to identify revenue opportunities. We also have a special gift for all of our webinar attendees. You'll be receiving a copy of our white paper, 7 Proven Search Marketing Tips for 2017. And this will be in your inbox tomorrow, so please keep a lookout for it. And also, for more research from NetElixir University, visit our site. And then I would like to turn it over to the audience for some questions. So first, our first question is, great point on near me searches. What % of search traffic are you getting from mobile devices? Udain?
That's an interesting question. It sort of varies from category to category, but I think, I mean, we have seen through 2016, and I can probably sort of share some, let us say Q3 as well as Q4 data, the third and the fourth quarter data. On the third quarter, on an average, the mobile searches accounted for roughly about 37 to 40% of all the paid search queries. We saw that during the holiday times, it sort of exceeded 45%. In many cases, it sort of went up to upwards of 50% as well. So roughly about 45 to 50%. In Q1, that trend seems to be continuing and actually sort of increasing a little bit. We believe that by this holiday season, it may not be an impossibility to see maybe about 65 to 70% of all the paid search traffic really coming from the mobile devices. Mobile has really sort of exploded. I mean, it's by far as all of you know, is just taking the entire online advertising or marketing to a very different zone altogether.
Then we just had quick 2 questions if there will be a link to this webinar or a downloaded version after, and this will be in an email that you will get for us actually after this webinar, so keep a lookout for that. And then we have another question. Does this data relate equally to B2B? These seem to be very B2B centric.
B2C centric?
B2C centric, yes,
yeah,
sorry.
I think that's a very fair statement. So in this, the overall tips which have been provided probably relate a little more to the B2C segments. Specifically, the Facebook is a good example for that. However, some of the best practices, for example, the SEO best practices are equally applicable for B2B. Even on the paid search part, I think the B2B segment would probably be applicable something like AdWords script, maybe a little more towards the B2C. But if you really look at the mobile near me searches, probably are B2C as well. So you're right. I mean, I think it's sort of just definitely skewed a little bit more towards the B2C businesses rather than B2B businesses. Yeah.
And another question, can I have a record of users that are tagged with GPS location that is viewable in Google Maps?
I'm sorry, repeat that question.
Can I have a record of users that are tagged with GPS location that is viewable in Google Maps?
That's a great question, and honestly speaking, we'll have to check with Don and get back to you regarding that. But that's a great question. So what we can do is we can sort of get back to you after we refer to our analytics head, Don Rodriguez. That's a great question.
Then we had a question, how do you tackle bad backlinks?
Bad backlinks are an easy way of, and this is probably an important thing for all the businesses out there, anyone who is doing SEO. You can use Google Console, and you can go to the manual spam segment, and if you really see, you'll sort of be able to see as to what are the manual spam or the penalty charges that Google has already sort of imposed on you. And then once you fix it, you have to sort of resubmit it to Google using the Google Console, and it should be done. So yeah, but again, it's very important to keep a constant tab on the bad links, because they can significantly sort of impact the overall SEO rankings for your website. We got a question regarding specifically the B2B session. Yes, we would. We have been aggregating a lot of information on B2B, and we would love to have a separate session on the B2B e-commerce as well.
So everyone, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for joining our webinar, our first of 2017. It was so great to have you all here, and thank you. Have a great day.